Hello techies, welcome to our channel Easy to BI. So again we are going to discuss about the Tiger Analytics interviews. So previously we discussed about the Tiger Analytics interview questions, the TR1 and the TR2 round. But today we are going to discuss about the questions with the answers. So these are the Power BI and the SQL technical round 1 questions and answers. So we'll start with the our question 1, that is which visual will you use to show previous year versus current year sales comparisons. So everyone know that the most of the developer will use the cluster column chart, which is the one of the best visual to show a comparison between a details. But we can go with the multiple options which is available in our visualization plane in a Power BI. So here we are using a line graph to show comparison. So with the comparison, we need to have a details. So how we can find out that details? So we need to write a two measures which will give us a detail about sales. So first one is that the current year sales. So current year sales is calculated by a year function which is year today. So year today will give a current year. On the basis of that we are taking a sum of a sales amount. Then it is easy to take a previous year sales if we have a current year sales formula. In a previous year sales we are just -1 doing from a current year. So the formula is the same, just only in last we are adding a -1 which will give us a previous year sales. So if we are using a line chart, then it will show the visual like current year versus a previous year. So blue line which is indicated the current year, and the light blue line which is indicated previous year sales. So next one is that the DAX which will give us a previous year versus the current year sales within a single formula. So here we can use a same period last year function which will help us to get the previous year sales from a table. So it is one of the easiest way to get the details, or for a comparison purpose we are using the date here. Cumulative sales tax. So before going ahead, I just wanted to let you know what is a cumulative. So let's say we have a details. So we have a details like a month, and we have a sales amount. So month is a Jan, sales amount is a 10. Month is a Feb, sales amount is a 20. Month is a March, sales amount is a again 10. So if anyone is tell me what is a cumulative, then what we need to do, till a March we are just adding all the sales amount. So 10 plus 20 plus 10, it is 40. So what is our cumulative till March? It is a 40. So they will ask you to write a cumulative sales DAX. So how we need to write it? So we are writing this by using this formula. So here we are writing at a calculate sum of the sales amount, and inside the filter we are remove all the filtration from a date table, and we are telling the Power BI, okay, what is your maximum date? So any date which is before the maximum date or equal to maximum date, on the basis of that you just add the amount value from a sales table. So this will give us the cumulative value of each month by adding its previous month's values. The next one is that what are the different types of the relationships are available in a Power BI, and is it possible to use in a Power BI? Let's see. So there are the two types of the relationships which are available in the Power BI: active and inactive relationship. So this image will give a more clarity about active and inactive relationship. So first one, the line which is a straight line, it indicate the active relationship between the two tables. So here is a FedEx and the Fed2. So within that we having a straight line which is called as a active relationship, but we have a dotted line which indicated it is an inactive relationship. So we are clear about how inactive and active relationship will show in a Power BI. Then let we discuss about how to use it. So there is a one function is available in the Power BI which called as a use relationship function in a DAX. So this will take a column 1 and column 2 value. So on the basis of that we will able to use a inactive relationship in our Power BI to calculate the things. Let's say suppose you have a columns in a table like sales ID, sales amount, created date, invoice date, and in a date table we have a order date and the invoice date. Possibly the order date is in the 2024, but might be that order invoice date is in 2025. But what we need to show? We need to show the order from a 2024, and the invoice also have a similar kind of the 2024 data only. So how we can write that one? All the things in a similar table, and because of that we have a relationship which is inactive with the invoice. So for order we have an active relationship, so we are represented it in directly by telling that give me a sales amount or the sum of the sales amount in order date which equal to having a year 2024. It's a straightforward one because we have an active relationship. But if suppose we need to calculate the invoice 2024, how will calculate? Because it do not have active relationship, it's have an inactive relationship. So here we are using the same formula, but instead of year invoice or year order date, we are using here the year invoice equal to 2024. This is a small change, yes, but now the part is coming here. We are using a use relationship function to tell Power BI use inactive relationship based on column 1 which is the invoice date and column 2 which is the invoice. On the basis of that, Power BI will calculate the sum of the sales amount for an invoice equal to 2024. So this is the use of use relationship function to use an inactive relationship between the two tables. The next one is that suppose you have one table visual. In that table visual you have a January, February, March, then it will skip a few months, and then July, August, September, October, November, December. But if you think about it, then April, May, June months are not at all available, but user gave a requirement to represent that data. If anything is not available, it should be available in that table. So it is one of the requirement. So how you will resolve it? So we need to create a one calendar table. In that calendar table we'll have all the details which definitely have a months, all months there. Then we need to do a relationship between a calendar table and our table. After the doing relationship, we need to use a month column from a calendar table and the value from main table. So it will resolve our issue. Next is that what is the row level security and how do you implement it? It is one of the favorite question in any interview of Power BI. So first one is that, so before going to create a row level security, we need to create an access table in our Power BI. So that access table is contains the username with roles. So suppose we have admin role and the user role. Definitely some user having admin role and some users having a user role. So on the basis of that, we need to create a two columns, user email ID or username, and the second column is a role. So role is admin and users. Later that we need to map that access table with our main table by using either role or either a email ID or user ID. After mapping has been done, we need to do role creation. So how to create a role? So if we go to a Power BI desktop, we have a modeling ribbon. Inside the modeling we have a security section. In that security section we have a two option, that is a manage role option and view as option. So if you click on the manage role option, then there we have a new role creation and we have a tables, multiple tables available. So we need to just click on the access table. On that access table we need to create a role, and the role is the admin or user. But here if you want to create it dynamically, then definitely go ahead with the user principal name to make it dynamically. So what user principal name will do, user principal name will read the user details or the user ID, and it will compare with your email address and provide a role. On the basis of the relationship, it will filter out the data and it will show in a Power BI. So if you want to check that in a desktop level, definitely you go ahead with the view as option which is available in the modeling security section and check it. After the checking, you need to publish the report on our workspace services workspace. Later on, you just go to workspace. We have a report and schema option. In the schema you have a three dot there. Click on that three dot, you will get a multiple options, but select the security option. After the selecting security option, open it and you will definitely find out the two roles, that is admin and the user, which we already created in a Power BI desktop level. So click on that, add user IDs or email IDs, save it as per the role, and later on if you click on that role and click on test role, you will able to see the respective changes in the Power BI. One of the last SQL question they ask, that is a one column having a three rows in a table which contains the same record, then how you will delete a last two records or the second and third record from the table. So there are the two way we can do. The first way is that using a CTE and the second one is the subquery. So first one is the CTE. Inside a CTE we are writing that a row number which will give a row number like is a 1, 2, 3, and after the giving the row number, definitely it is easy to us which row number which is greater than 1 which need to delete from a table. This is the first one. The second one is that the subquery. So here we are writing a delete, then inside a where function or the where clause we are using a row num, and by using that row num only, after completing the where clause, that subquery output we are checking is greater than 1, then delete that entry from our table. This is the last question. One bonus tip I am giving to you, one news as well, that one. So as we go through each and every question, might be you will get a some out of clarity of the questions and answers, but definitely I will definitely creating the practical video how to implement all these questions in a practical way. I will create the video and I will publish it. But for that, support my channel, do like, do subscribe, and share with your friends, so it will help them to prepare for the Tiger Analytics. And definitely thank you very much.